Numbers and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my scars with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full span, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
What is going on, people? Welcome into another episode of the Stay Raiding Show, presented to you by iBoxingHub in association with our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. I'm joined by Beanie Man Ray. Ray, how are you doing?
Do you know what's so funny as well? I've realised I'm wearing this, but man just got a fresh trim as well. Man. Listen, man. Bow. Man just got a fresh trim. Work is being so busy, yeah. I got in and I was literally wearing my hand fleece, sat here. I was even in the dark for I don't know how long, just getting my work done. And it weren't until we're about to start this that I was just like, first I took off the fleece, and then there's only now that you mentioned the hat about the beanie. So I was just like, oh crap, I do have that on. Let me. Oh man.
Do you know what it is though, yeah? It's gotten to that time of the weather.
Oh, big temperature drop.
Yeah.
Big temperature.
You know, like the trims we get, it don't help us because it just keeps our head cold. It's just way too cold. And I'm just like, yeah, but I can't be rocking hair for that long anymore.
Listen, man, there's a big temp drop, but we keep moving.
Let's move on to what we saw Saturday night. Conor Benn.
Listen, man.
He absolutely
destroyed Chris Eubank. Nastiest stuff I've seen in a hot sec. But kudos to Matchroom, because some people are calling Eddie Hearn scummy, and I'll say two things are true at the same time. It's scummy, the stipulations they put on Chris, but if that's your promoter, what a guy. What a guy you want fighting in your corner for you, because boy, I thought Chris was going to pull out of the bag again, especially with Bomac. The best I've ever seen him look was with Bomac against
Smith.
The rematch against
Smith. Yeah.
So I thought we're getting that Chris Jr. back, but I guess the weight cut, the damage was done, man. You can't keep on doing that to your body. He looked like I don't know if you've ever been in a car where the battery's down and it's like
yeah.
That guy could not get that motor started for nothing, and it was sad to see.
Do you know what's mad? Like, they kept saying throughout the entire week, "Oh, he's cut the weight better and everything like that." He might have actually done that. Like, there's probably no denying that he probably cut the weight better. But what you don't realize is what it takes still out on you, and that's the thing. Like, you can cut the weight a lot better because you've done it the first time round before, but it's what it actually takes out of you that hits you. But the thing that kind of got me, because I was like, yeah, Eubank's got this. It's not even a worry type of thing. Literally, as the fight week progressed, I'm not even lying to you. I've been to a few fight weeks, yeah. Conor Benn, this guy was so relaxed. Like, it's not even to the point where it was a facade. This guy was just dancing, vibing with Nigel. He was so chilled. It was ridiculous.
He knew. He just knew it. And it's crazy because one of my other boys, shout out quickly to Trey and Ra. Ra goes, he was just building up to reveal his trim. That's hilarious. Shout out for the love, Trey. But yeah, it was just like something in Conor Benn knew. And shout out Ra again. Ra was the only one I think that picked Benn to win.
No, but listen. Ra does this thing, right? He's the type of guy to pick Jake Paul to be AJ. Yeah, he's the type of guy to pick Jake Paul to be AJ. So we don't value what Ra says. For that specific reason. He will do everything. If you tell him, guess what? Cheese is yellow.
Yeah.
Nah, my cheese is brown.
That is hilarious.
That's what Ra is. So I can't take this man's predictions serious ever. He gives alternative leads.
That's also contrarian. No, you're contrarian for contrarian's sake at times, and you know you are, Ryan. I've called you out for this as well. You will literally, because the whole crowd is going one person, you'll go with another, which isn't bad. It's not bad if you genuinely believe it.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's like you're just doing it because it's just like
you know what I couldn't let Raw have. He's not allowed to support Canelo Alvarez. He's not allowed. Like, I have put a block on that. The same way Donald Trump tried to put that wall up, I have put the wall up. I am only allowed to support Canelo Alvarez because of the Mexicans.
crazy.
So yeah, we're not allowing it. We're not allowing it. But yeah, you were saying about chill because Conor was chill. I spoke to Eddie, and my first question was, what has changed in Conor? And literally, before I even finished, he's just relaxed. The first fight, he was too amped up. I had to calm him out. This one's completely different. The mindset is different. And what kind of got me was in the post-fight press conference as well. He said, "Look, I beat myself more than Chris Eubank beat me in the first fight." And on reflection on the second fight, I can kind of get it because of how supposedly close it could have seemed a little bit. Because obviously Conor lost more rounds that were probably a bit more obvious, but he also probably lost a couple of the swinger rounds. So I do understand kind of what he means.
I'll say go ahead. Let me not cut you off.
Oh no, that's what I mean. So I do kind of understand his point a little bit, why he came in with a more relaxed and confident approach for fight 2.
I think it was good to be in a better mental space, but physically, let's not act like it's different. If Conor was like, if this was like Lomachenko versus Teofimo, where Loma blatantly thought that he was gonna go in there and school Teo, and by the time Loma caught up, it's like Teo had run away with it, and then he put it on him in the 12th round. That's different because at least we know that Loma technically is of a certain level. Conor is not clear of Benn. So Conor is not clear of Eubank technically to make me feel like, oh yeah, you was always just gonna go in there and be better as long as you stayed calm. No, it was just like you saw so many from De La Hoya to Shakur Stevenson and other like top pro boxers that were saying, if you think 2 fights where you have to cut weight and have a rehydration course twice in a year, if you think that person's gonna perform well, you're mad. The first time, fair enough. Asking that for a second time within 6 months of your body to do that, your body's just gonna be like, yo, big man, I've given you enough. And what's crazier, sorry, I said just before you. What's crazier is that they made him look crazy, and at other times he is. But Senior was right. Senior kept on calling it. Senior kept on saying, this is what's gonna happen. He goes, you're gonna weight drain my son. Benn is good enough to take advantage of that, and he'll win. And because of the first fight, we thought there's no way. But what Chris Eubank Senior tried to warn everyone about, it happened.
Now, this is the thing, right? And we'll talk a little bit about the fight, because the thing is, it sounds so dumb, but there's not a lot to really say about the fight. Nothing. Because the fight was kind of done after 3 rounds.
Yeah, we all saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, as much as it went 12, the fight was basically done. But I will say this. So, if Eubank is the IBO champion, right? Next step is the IBF at 160, right? When you fight for that title, there is a £10 rehydration clause.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put a context where if he was fighting for the IBF world title, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, he would then have to rehydrate to 170, just like he had to do here.
Yeah.
So if we are now saying, oh, wait a minute, there's an opportunity for the world title at 160 in the IBF, he's doing the exact same thing he would have had to do for Conor Benn. So I do understand on that point why people can turn around and say, you know, you are technically an IBO champion at that weight class anyway. So what's the big issue?
I think the big issue is the fact that he didn't go for the IBF belt So, and this is a guy that knew from early, I'm going to bank off of my namesake. Let's not all act like Chris Jr. has not been doing this for a while. This is the same guy that what was when he beat Smith and he became mandatory, and he literally told one of the governing bodies, take me out of your mandatory position. I don't want the belt. This is a guy that's been, fighting to be with his own drum for a long time because he's been getting paid. So I don't think if it was up to him, he was never going to go for a belt that will make him weight drain the way that you're saying the IBF, belt requires you to. So I don't even consider that hypothetical, because I don't think Chris Jr. would have ever gone down that route of the IBF anyway.
Okay, cool. The fight itself, sorry, like I said, there weren't a lot to really talk about. And I said it to a few people when I was out in London for fight week. I said, look, this one is significantly more hype than actual reality. I think the first one was, we had hype, but we also knew, guess what, we're gonna get a fight. And I likened it to the idea that at the end of the day, to realistically have two fights that live up to some level of high expectation, it's unlikely. The ones that stick to a man are Bivol and Beterbiev, Canelo Triple G. I will give you 2 out of the 3 Fury Wilder fights. I'm trying to think, where else can we go? I'm trying to just, where we've had a rematch and we're like, okay, you know what? That was also a very good fight. From the top of my head, more than that. I don't know if you can.
Oh, quick technical issue. You might have to run that back quickly. You was breaking up a bit. I think you might still be breaking up a bit. Oh, people, like to apologize. We might be experiencing some technical difficulties right now. After these messages, we'll be right back. Dun 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 dun. Abbas,
can you not hear me?
I can hear you. A bit grainy, but you're back.
Oh, okay. It might just be the light. It might just be the light that's cooked me. But no. What I was saying was, I can't remember a lot of fights that also live up to the first. You have the Triple G Canelo fights.
To be fair, Bivol Beterbiev did.
Yeah, that one did. I would give you 2 out of the 3 Wilder Fury fights for just the chaos.
Yeah,
I'll give you entertainment. And then outside of that, I'll give you AJ Fury 2. I mean, AJ Usyk 2 was better than 1.
Yeah, no, to be fair, Wilder Fury, all 3 of them were wild. And it's only because the third one was only wild.
A true level of competitiveness, but 3 was wild. 1 was a bit all over the place.
Oh, no. 2, I think 2 was a complete washing.
Yeah, that's my whole
2
point.
was Fury saying, yo, I am better than you and I'm not going to play with you.
So that's my whole point with Eubank Benn.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be as great as what a lot of people were trying to push it out to be.
Yeah.
So that was my only thing about it. But for me, like I said, I kind of have to put a lot of respect on Conor Benn's name for doing what he did. At the end of the day, he had a job to do. The fight, he was able to get it done and dusted. That don't take away from Chris. Like, I still respect and like Chris Eubank, but at the end of the day, Conor Benn, there was pressure on him. You basically, even though you were playing with what I called house money, because if you win, unbelievable. If you lose, you're going back to 147 anyway.
It was always going back to 147.
Yeah, the only thing you had was your name value. Like you didn't, and he was able to get it over the line. So that's what I do have to respect. But there is one thing that I will go back to, and that's what you said about Eddie Hearn. At the time when Conor had his drugs thing, he had the Benn name, but he didn't have the Benn profile. You could have dropped him. He stuck by him through that entire period. So Eddie, for whatever people call are his faults, he did his thing. He stuck by him, and guess what?
I've always, like I've said, if Eddie stays on your side, Good on you.
And now you've got. I'm not going to say the 147 world is your oyster, but you intend to
It's
potentially,
favourable.
yeah. And you are probably, even though you're not the champion, you'll go in as the A cash cow for me.
Mm-hmm.
So fair play to Conor Benn. But where does Eubank go from here?
Retire, man.
Do you think that happens?
And you know why I also think that it's done? Because with Eubank is like there's no other ways to use your name the way you've been using it. Who else is there to fight that's gonna give who else is the money fight out there for him? There isn't. And let's not all act like Eubank doesn't want a world title, and the fact that
There isn't anyone.
he doesn't want a world title, and the fact that who else is there for him to fight, and he's not been motivated. He doesn't like boxing. He's been telling us in interviews.
He's going to be a dad to 2 kids now.
Yeah, and I also think that's when I used to train. We used to say it's called being civilized. What I mean by being civilized is you get to a point in your life where if you're training for so long, fighting for so long, eventually you just don't want to fight no more. Like you're civilized, you're more civil, like you're at peace with like that burning desire to fight is gone. And for some people it's hard because it's almost like you become a what's the word I'm looking for? I need to start reading more regularly again. My mind's going blank. You become a caricature of yourself in that you're just fighting just to fight, but you're not fighting because you really want to. You're fighting because that's what you do, but it's not in you no more. And I've been seeing like a lot of Danny Garcia interviews because obviously he had his last. What I hope is his last fight. He said it's his last fight, but then he was just saying in an interview like, "Yo, I was going to training and I was saying, damn, I'm really sparring today." And I think he said that back in the day he would never question why he's never. Sparring is never going to be daunting for him. He's just done it. So the way I look at it is like, if you get to that point, you're civilized. That fighting spirit, that fire is not burning as bright as it used to. And unfortunately as well, what happens is if you got such a high skill level, you can still compete. So like you can no, let me not use Mayweather because he's the anomaly. But there's fighters where
Pacquiao.
Yeah. Actually, no. I think Pacquiao's got a burning sensation pause. But yo, that's crazy. Pacquiao has that's wow. That's that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I hear what you mean though.
Pacquiao still has a fighting spirit lingering. So, but he's also in that weird space where it's like he's in that scary space you don't want to be in, where you've got that fighting spirit there, but it's not enough to. Not only are you old, but it's not enough to make you cross the line. And thirdly, certain fighters have enough skill that guess what? I'm not gonna fight the best. I can still make money.
Canelo.
Who?
Canelo. He doesn't need to fight the best, but
no. You know what? That is a brilliant Canelo, for example. We've been saying for a while he hasn't been fighting the best. However, his cruise control is still better than most of the field. That maybe the number 1 contender he might lose to, but the top 5 he can still be on cruise control. Let's be honest. Yeah. He's that good that still on his cruise control, he can still beat the top 5. And I feel like with Chris, he skill-wise, he's not there where it's like your cruise control can still get you money fights and still beat guys to get P's. Because Canelo was in a situation where he's the A side who can beat other, champions. Whereas Chris Eubank, you're not in that position. And Billy Joe, if you ever think that Billy Joe Saunders is cutting weight, you have another thing coming. But listen, Billy Joe is not coming back. let it go. How long has Billy Joe's been out longer than Errol Spence has? And at least Errol Spence is in shape.
I
Billy
swear
Joe,
I saw something that Billy Joe is having a fight. I genuinely,
last I saw Billy Joe, he was getting arrested for dogfighting. And he
I
was out of
remember,
shape.
yeah, I remember him trying to get into Eubank's locker, and I think it was Napa was like,
Yeah, and
"You
Napa
ain't getting
let him
in
know,
here,
come
bro.
on, Wolfie
Get the
Forest,
fuck out
stand
of
up.
here."
Listen, like AR says, Chris Eubank Jr. is finished and shot. He wasn't that good in the second fight against. Yeah, that's the truth. Billy Joe Sausages is hilarious. Oh, how has this slander name gone away from me for so long? Billy Joe Sausages is hilarious. They both finished. I still think, and here's the scary thing. Physically, I think Billy Joe is done. There's no way he's getting back into fighting shape. Skill wise, though, he'll be able to do over Junior.
Yeah, this is what I meant against Matt Floyd in but that's fine.
At heavyweight, what weight class is that? Because it ain't gonna be middleweight.
No, it won't. I don't know what it will be. I'm gonna let them do their thing. But with Connor, it was funny because we were talking about this. You know what you know what cracks me up all the time is everyone at 147. Barrios. We just want to fight Barrios, brother. This guy's meant to be the champion, and everyone's like, you know what? This is easy work. We just want to fight this man to win the. I get he's got the WBC strap. I understand he's got that strap. But it genuinely feels like anyone who moves up is like, yeah, we just want to fight Barrios because it's easy work. Connor's alluded to that that's the thing.
The
That he
Barrios.
wants
Do you
to
know
do.
what's funny about the Barrios fight?
Mhm.
Barrios pissed me off because Barrios was like you was there. It was there for you to finish off. What's that guy's name? Pacquiao.
Yeah.
You was right there. All you need to do is finish off Pacquiao. It's like I was saying earlier on. Pacquiao still got the fighting spirit, but physically, I'm not
Listen,
trying
I
to
said
say
it. Barrios is overrated.
it's not that he's overrated. I'm looking at him like, brother, what are you doing? Put this old dog down. And it's not even like it's different. If Pacquiao was like B Hop here, where B Hop has been like this stringent, disciplined person throughout his career that he could fight at a later age and he was still going. Pacquiao's not that. He's had his ups and downs, and he had his battles with not training properly and etc. and getting caught in a lifestyle. So when Barrios didn't put him out, I was just like, this is such a bad look. Even Ugas put out Pacquiao.
Jeez. Ugas.
So yeah, Barrios is looking like slim pickings for a lot of people, and obviously Ryan Garcia, Golden Boy are doing what they need to do to like make that fight happen. And guess what? If Ryan Garcia somehow, as terrible as he's been looking, if Ryan Garcia somehow finds a way to get past Barrios and get that belt, I am here for Garcia versus Benn. Bring that to the UK in a stadium show, and it will be a slug.
Shit! You're running as a stadium.
Sorry.
Actually, you're running that as a
Oh,
stadium.
absolutely.
Okay.
What?
No, do you know
Tottenham,
what? Do you know
yeah.
when I'll be honest. You know when I said it, then I
Hmm.
took a pause, and I was like, you know what? We've gotten to that. It's a
Not
weird.
Wembley. Not Wembley. Tottenham. He'll be able to do.
Do you know what though? I'm not saying every fighter is this, but you know when you do. I'm not saying back. Yeah, I'll give you. You know when you do back-to-back stadiums.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's harder to then transition
Yeah.
to arenas in the UK. In America, it's a different ballgame. If let's say you use Conor Benn, fuck it, I've done 2 stadiums. I've done about let's say 150k tickets over 2 fights. But guess what? I could go into Vegas and do the T-Mobile Arena, and no one will give a shit. But it's like if I then go and do the O2, it's like you just did 2 stadiums.
I don't think it's as bad because Conor wasn't the A side when the stadium fights happened. Chris Eubank was. Not even. Let's be real. The A sides were their fathers. Them two were the B sides. The A sides were their fathers. Their father's name, their family name was the A side. So them two if they don't do stadiums after this, it's not a knock because let's be honest, this was built off of your father's name. It wasn't built off of what their resume, which is I'm not even mad at it. But if Ben goes back to doing the O2, let's say he does the O2, I think he can fill out the O2 with the right opponent. And then I feel like if it's Ryan Garcia though, I think that can do a stadium only because it's such a spectacle.
Yeah.
That I think people will tune in.
Just quickly, I want to talk to you about the undercard a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. For me, when this was actually released, I was happy with the undercard. I actually genuinely liked the undercard. It was like, you know what, proper British undercard. I'm happy with it. For me, the standout performers were Catrol and Adam Azim. Obviously, the way Catrol won the fight, some people said
It's not
it's
controversial, man.
because I looked at it, and I'll be real. The way the ref stepped in on the break,
it's the ref's fault. No. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Catterall did nothing wrong. Yo, if the ref is spiteful, but if the ref ain't there to break it up and he's not being strict enough, I'm punching you.
Yeah.
And that's what Carroll done.
What was it? Was it Floyd and Mosley?
Ortiz.
Or was it Ortiz? That when the little break and it's like, hey, you didn't keep your hands up, bang, bang, jab done. Yeah. And that was it. The fight was done. So for me, Catrol, he did say, to be fair, look, the fight against Harlem Eubank, it was a horrible fight because of the opponent. Esserman, on the other hand, brought some fight to Catrol, even though for the most part, I still believe Catrol would have won over 12 rounds, even though started getting a bit more tense. And then he got the finish. Jack Catrol gets the finish, and you know what? Everyone's like, yeah, we respect that. In terms of him now going forward, then, it is, I said this to a lot, I think he's the one fighter that you look at and you're like, you know what? If you win a world title, genuinely, I think every boxing fan will actually sit and be happy for you. You know, some fighters, you're like, you don't deserve that title. Like, say if Conor Benn wins the world title, there will be fans that say, you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
I think if Catrol wins it, people will sit and be like, you know what? We're happy for you to win that world title. The thing is, do you think he wins it at 147?
This is my only thing that I don't like about that fight. Yeah, the route that he's taken. Carroll does it is a techie one. Carroll does this thing is like he's the working man's fighter, the working class man fighter. Like he goes the hard way. Pause again. The issue is Carroll. Sometimes, brother, I beg you. Take the softer route.
Yeah.
It's not every day that Carroll's like, yeah, I'll take on who's it? Haney or Norman. And I get it. Because it's the conundrum of as a boxer, as a competitor, you want a guy that's like, yo, I will take on the best. At the same time, I think it's on Eddie to analyze the field and say, yo, that's actually the hardest way to go. And it's different. If it's like, you know, you've got a destroyer on your hands, no pun intended for Conor Benn. If you know you've got a destroyer on your hands, then it's easier to be like, all right, cool, face anyone. If you're like, I don't know, if you had a bad Crawford, then you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm well.
He's so skilled, it doesn't really matter.
He's so good that I'll take him against anybody. But especially where Carroll is in his career now, I would expect Eddie Hearn to just be like, yo.
I think they'll go the Crocker route.
That's what, for me,
it's very easy. Not very easy, but yeah, it's the perfect way.
But especially, it's like Crocker, like you can do a stadium.
Yeah.
Crocker's right there. I don't know if Crocker's next defense has to be a mandatory. If it doesn't have to be a mandatory, that Crocker fight is right there. Why the hell are you waiting for Haney versus Norman? Get a belt and then unify against them. More money. Get a belt first. That's my thing. Just get a belt first. And because especially Carroll deserved it from how he got robbed against Taylor to how he's reinvented himself with Bozy. I was like watching him with like he was looking spiteful, and I was just like, yo, Joshua Boatsy might need to holler at Bozy because that is how you go to someone that who refines what you are. because
Yeah.
I think Carroll was highly skilled and he's tricky. And I think the issue with Carroll before was just like he's a tricky counter puncher, but he wasn't spiteful. And now it's just like even the commentators were saying a lot of the time, where Carroll will just maybe, you know, counter you and bounce off. It's like no, he's standing his ground, and the counters are now with more venom and he's holding ground. So I feel Crocker versus Carroll. Whoever's in Carroll's team needs to start pushing that. Yo, Eddie, you've got this guy here.
I feel like they will do. I think
Especially all respect to Crocker. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, apologies. I like the guy. And I was rooting for him. I'm happy he won. But he's not the strongest link. So if that is the case and you're Eddie, I'm looking at it as that if he's gonna lose the belt, let him lose it to someone at Matchroom.
Yeah. And then on the other side, you've got Connor going for Barrios.
Yeah.
It's
unification. Yeah. Everyone gets paid.
The other one, like I said, was Adam Azim. And we talked about this. We've talked about him. And to be fair, I spoke to him. And when I did, I said to him, I go, look, in terms of, did you have any frustration with this year? He goes, realistically, I opened up the year with a fight. I then had a fight in February against Lipinix. In February, or whatever. Then he goes, look, I did have another fight that got pulled out. Opponent pulled out. So I'm here, I'm on 2. Am I happy? Probably not. But, you know, I am going to be more active in 2026. Again, his performance, for me, I really like because it was, I'm starting off the first 4 rounds and then moving up the gears and I'm showcasing what I can do. And he got the finish. He forced the guy in the 12th round to take a knee. And basically the ref was like, yeah, even though we've got a minute left, there's no point in me putting you through this pain going forward for the next minute because you are going to get beaten up. Like I said, I'm still a big fan. I still believe he'll go on to win a world title. Funny enough, we talk about Haney. He was calling out Devin Haney as well. And that's when I'm looking at Adam. I'm like, where do you position yourself? Are you positioning yourself at 140? Or you position yourself at 147? The way Haney's moved through divisions, you don't have that luxury to do. You need to settle in a division and then try to win a title there. That's my only little bit of an issue with Adam Azim right now. But other than that, from a skill perspective, it's very, very good.
Who 147 I don't feel like should be his destination just yet.
Yeah.
I think it will be. He's a big boy, but
yeah.
140, I feel like you got Xander Sayers, if I'm correct.
Let me have a look.
What's that 147?
Tio and Shakur as well.
No, Shakur hasn't even got a belt. Tio's got a belt.
Oh, yeah.
140's been like the forgotten about division, but it's now looking a bit spicy because a lot of the lightweights are now moving up.
Yeah. Let me bring up who we got. Hitchens, Mateus, Russell, and Tio. I can see why, from a skills perspective, it is a very tricky division to win a title in.
Oh, wait, Hitchens. Who else?
Gary Antoine Russell. This is the PBC
That's
guy.
a difficult one as well.
Yep. And Mateus.
Mateus is winnable. Mateus is facing
I'm fuming because I know
the UK lad in Matchroom. But to be fair, they're gonna make that a big domestic fight. If my man from Matchroom wins that, then they're gonna make
who it is. It's very annoying now. I need to know who it is.
It's a Sheffield lad because him and Azim have been going at it for years.
Oh, Dalton Smith, that's it. That's it. We need Dalton Smith to win.
Yeah,
we need Dalton Smith to win for that to be.
Oh, that's not even a Matchroom card. Because I was gonna say Eddie get the fixing, but yeah, Eddie's gonna have to try to pull some strings to get Dalton that belt, because I think if we can get Dalton that belt, him versus Azim should be, and this is going to be interesting because finally that Raz commentating, Ra has been saying that he thinks Azim knows his ceiling's not a world title, so he's just like doing Azim better target Hitchens. I don't know. I think Hitchens is skilled enough to just stifle Azim. He may not damage him, but I think Hitchens is skillful enough that will stifle Azim.
But I can see Ra's point in the sense of I really like Azim's hand speed. Like, it is very nice.
That is Hitchens being there done. I think Hitchens is one of those fighters, high risk, low reward. That is a guy that knows how to. One thing Hitchens is good at is knowing how to stifle people, and I feel like Azim will just get frustrated against Hitchens. I don't think Hitchens is built for Azim to face.
In a way, though, looking at Azim, actually, funny enough, like, I know he was saying about targeting titles. Matchroom, if they want to, I know this is going to. Boxer, for me personally, will probably be looking at Dalton Smith to lose that fight then, because the moment
say that again.
Boxer,
will
probably be looking at Dalton Smith and saying, we kind of want you to lose that fight. Now let me land. Because if Dalton Smith wins and becomes champion, guess what? You have zero pulling power in Adam Azim.
Oh,
to be able to make any form of negotiation
on Dalton's.
There's literally a case of, I am Dalton Smith, I am the world champion. You've got no pull. Now, if you lose, there is a bit more of, okay, we might need to lean your way and do something that you want as well. So that, from that point of view, they would. But obviously, the title fight, it would be a case of, right, you got to give up any sort of luxuries you have, listen to what we want, and make the fight. And it just cracks me up every time I see Ben and Eddie together.
But do you think that is Mateus? Do people look at Mateus like, it's so funny because and I'm calling out Trey for this. Trey was on the Mateus wagon there, and everyone knows Mateus is the boogeyman. Against Australia, everyone's looking at Mateus as food now. So then, when you're saying that you think Boxer hopes that Mateus, you think that Boxer thinks against Mateus, then
what's that? Say it again, because you broke up for me.
If basically Mateus ain't a boogeyman no more after he lost the belt, do you think that Boxer are looking at Mateus like that's a winnable fight?
I don't think they would put him in that fight.
Then he's not going for a world title then, because you ain't going to put him against Tio or Shakur. You ain't going to put him against Tio or Shakur. Anton Russell's tricky. Hitchens is tricky and low money. That's the highest risk.
I think what they are looking at, right?
At least if you go against the winner of Shakur and Tio, you may get whooped, but you're getting paid.
I think they are hoping. Now, this is the thing. This is when it comes to the same way Errol Spence pushed, what's it called, to get Terence Crawford in, is the way I think Adam Azim next year needs to push it from Ben Shalom.
There's no way.
You need to push it.
No, you can push it. I'm saying leverage-wise.
Like, you can't sugarcoat me. Like, I don't need, because what will happen is, let's say you have 3 fights, and the reason is, the difference is you'll be 16-0, let's say, right? So that, or 17-0, whatever it is. But in 2025's world of boxing, it's a bit different to when it is 15 years ago. That's the thing. In the sense that, because of the name that you've got and the way people are kind of fast tracking fighters and stuff, you've already accomplished certain things where it's like, okay, now we need you to make a fight that everyone can be more interested in. Yes, you've got your core following, and yes, you've been able to grab some attention from here because you're attached to a Dalton Smith, so his fan base. But now we kind of need that little push on. that's the thing. Whereas I think if you look at, we can use Amir Khan as an example. When he lost to Prescott, I think he was 16-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a completely different 16-0 to Adam Azim 16-0.
The only difference, Amir Khan wasn't meant to lose to Prescott, whereas Azim is in a position that we need you to. Because remember, when Khan lost to Prescott, that was at a stage where they were pushing him along. Because that was like contest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Prescott, like international titles, secondary title level. That's what it was. It still hasn't fought on a secondary title level. And I think that's the issue, where it's just like, yo, if you can't put away the guys, where's your ceiling gonna be? Whereas at least Khan is like, he showed the potential that, okay, secondary titles, I can do that. And even though, you know, he lost that Prescott fight, he came back right away. And
3 fights later, I think it was, and beat Katanga.
Yeah, and you get what I'm saying? Whereas Azim is just like, so at what point are you guys gonna push him? Especially with having Boxer slowed down on like the TV deal and everything.
Well, this is the thing. Apparently, Ben's securing. He's got the TV deal, but he's securing a pay-per-view type of deal as well.
Boxer does not need no pay-per-view. You have not got a roster for pay-per-view. Get eyes on your guys via BBC, and in due course, build up their name, build up your brand, and then I don't know, strike an exclusive deal with his own. Right now, who's pay-per-view worthy? I don't even know if you'll get your money, if you'll break even if they do pay-per-view at this point, because Azim is barely, no disrespect, he's not known in UK households like that. There's UK champions that ain't known in UK households.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna tell me about pay-per-view for who? For who?
Yeah, listen, that's just the way it goes. But listen, let me go on to something quickly.
Go on.
The most serious heavyweight in the world.
We're talking about this for 5
minutes. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua.
It's a cash out. It is a cash out, and that's okay.
Okay, is it?
It is.
Are you in favor of it?
No, you know.
Are you tuning into it? Are you tuning into it?
You know I'm not. However,
okay, do you know what? Do you know what? Fair enough. I'm gonna give you that because I was hoping genuinely, I was hoping that you turned around and said you were tuning in for it.
Oh no, listen, AJ is my guy, and I'm not here to just because he's my guy. I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna blow smoke up his ass and act like, oh, it's the best thing ever. I just understand what this is. You're near the end of your career. You're waiting for Fury. If Fury doesn't come and this payday's here, guess what? His championship window has actually. I'm glad we're talking about this. We'll talk about 2 minutes on that wanker Paul and.
Hey, listen,
AJ's championship window has seemingly closed. However, if you want to cash out, because obviously I'm not going to argue with you whether Fury's retired because you're going to be shameless. He's waiting for Fury. Whether Fury comes back, we don't know. But if you're on the way out and you see a nice payday, take it. My only thing is, if the fight's going to come with bare stipulations, then you know what? F it. You casuals that complain, this is your fault because you like slop and you act like you don't like slop, but you do like slop and you don't stop eating it. So guess what? That's for you. Because at the end of the day, no, because you know what? Yeah, because a lot of casuals complain, oh, the best don't fight the best. No, they have been. And you guys haven't been paying attention. You don't give it. Bivol versus Beterbiev 1 and 2 should be two of the fights that are the most talked about of recent memory. They should be two of the fights that should have been heralded on a commercial level in ways that we haven't seen in a long time. If you wanted the best versus the best, skill versus skill, top level versus top level, that was there. They gave it to you, and the casuals didn't care. So, but guess what? When it comes to Jake Paul, you're going to complain, but you'll tune in. You're going to complain, but you're going to get the impression.
Do you know what's
you're going to complain, and when the time comes, you are going to open up your bloody Netflix and you're gonna watch the Netflix and you're gonna complain whilst watching the Netflix, and then it's gonna be poor and you're still gonna complain. It is your fault.
Wait,
Your fault.
let me just. This is the bit that confuses me, right? I don't know what people can complain about. Can you just no? This is what I want you to tell me. What can people complain about? Because I don't
People
get
are
what you can.
complaining because they're looking at it as Jake Paul shouldn't even be in a position where it should be financially viable for an AJ to face him, and commercial wise, it's gonna do well. We should be. It's almost like, because the equivalent would be if the Sidemen charity match that happens every year.
Yeah.
Imagine, cool. Imagine they get the numbers they get, and I respect their numbers. I respect what they do. But imagine one time like UEFA's just like, okay, we're gonna have you guys first, PSG, after PSG has just had this spectacular, Champions League performance, Champions League run. However, then imagine it's like UEFA goes, oh, we're gonna put you in a special Super Cup. So now it's just like, oh, what? This ain't for charity. This is a real like. Imagine that. Imagine if all of these Sidemen footballers they sidestepped all the rankings and all the competitions, and then UEFA is just like, we're gonna put you in a serious game. You're gonna be looking at it thinking, what the hell? No matter how commercially well them Sidemen do, they shouldn't be in a situation where they're
And
playing.
then what? Get like an automatic qualification spot in the Champions League with okay.
And I think that's why people are looking at the Jake Paul thing like, fair enough, you're a
but
big
guess
name,
what?
You shouldn't be in a position where it's so financially viable. And this when I go back to them saying, you guys like slop, and
no, but this is the thing.
Like slop.
If that is the case, you cannot. Then this is why I can defend Jake for doing it, and I don't really mind AJ doing it.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with what Jake's doing.
Because at the end of the day, guess what? Everyone was saying, fight a real heavyweight. Everyone was saying, fight a real fighter. So guess what? We're gonna give you that fight. Now, this is my thing, though. For Anthony Joshua, obviously we saw him knock out Ngannou the way he did, right?
Yeah.
What's the point where if he lasts just that little bit too long, where you're looking at like, you know what, brother, just hang it up at the end of 2025?
It's not even about hang it up. People are your reputation is going to be in disrepute if you go in there and people don't see you take it as seriously as you took Ngannou. Because Ngannou, at the end of the day, and I think Ngannou, it was a big mistake on Ngannou's part. Apparently, he got contacted first. Him not taking this fight is crazy, especially where he's in his career right now.
But then this is what I'll say with Ngannou.
Go on.
After that fight with PFL, I want to say with everything that happened in his past, he more or less said he was done with combat sport.
I don't think he's done with combat sport. And even if you are done with combat sport, this is the type of match that you should be taking. Even if you're saying you're done, this is the fight where, guess what? It's not a serious fight. It's not John Jones. It's not whatever. This is the type of fight where it's just like, yo, quick payday, cool.
Yeah, but you will probably lose. I'll be very honest. I think Jake Paul beats Francis Ngannou.
No, he doesn't.
I think he does.
No, he doesn't.
I think
people forget Jake Paul. I don't understand why people forget that Jake Paul still lost to
No. But guess what? You know, if they're running back Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, I bet my mum's house, not my house because I don't have one, but I bet her house. Tommy Fury loses.
Don't make your family homeless on a crazy bet.
No, I keep telling my mum every single year.
Here's the thing: Fury is not that impressive, but he
stinks.
This goes back to what I was saying about the fighters that are past it physically, but skill-wise, they're still just better. Tommy Fury's fundamentals will always carry him through.
This shit, he lost to KSI.
Yes, because this is what I'm saying. There's a certain level of fundamentals where, despite the fact that it's not the greatest fundamentals, he's got decent enough fundamentals that he can get past Jake. Yeah. And I feel like
Jake, genuinely.
there's no way Ngannou looked like he did against Fury. and you're telling me that.
Because I'll tell you why.
And that's not to say, yes, they're Fury underestimating Ngannou, absolutely. But
Fury came in with love handles bigger than I've ever seen.
Did, but once again, the fact that one, Ngannou still has, even though it's MMA, it's still top level combat experience. And two, as big as Ngannou is, there is no way Ngannou should be getting dropped by or losing to Jake Paul.
I don't think he gets dropped, but
he doesn't lose. Jake Paul is not good. Remember, Jake Paul, all of his opponents have been undersized to him as well. The only times he's faced someone his size is Fury, and we saw how good he doesn't look. You've done a facade of beating guys that are smaller.
I'm putting it out there, you know. I know it's what will be 5 weeks away from the fight. I'm putting it out there. I think AJ eventually will win, but I think this goes into at least the third round.
Third round isn't too bad. My thing is just
6 minutes.
There, give him a nice body shot.
That's 6 minutes.
First, this is my only thing I don't like.
The reason I say that is,
if
look
AJ
back at
goes
AJ
in there and is less spiteful than how he was against Ngannou,
yeah,
I'll be disappointed.
Right, let me just look at something just quickly, right? Just for 2 minutes, right? So let me run this. So I said it could go 6 minutes, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 32 fights that AJ, 14 out of 20, 50%. 50% of AJ's fights that he's won have gone less than that specific time. So for Jake Paul, for all the criticism he gets versus AJ, for him to go into the third round means he's lasted 50% longer than AJ's wins in terms of opponents.
Let me tell you something right now. This is slot that I'm not going to watch. However, if I see the fact that AJ takes it easy on him, or if I hear, because I'm not going to watch, if I hear that AJ takes it easy on him, it's a bad look for himself. And especially because AJ is a prideful guy. It's different. If AJ was one of these other fighters that are down bad, then I'd understand it, because there's other fighters like the Tyron Woodleys of the world where it's like, you're down bad, so guess what? You can afford to look bad against Jake Paul because you're going to get paid. AJ's in that bracket where it's just like, brother, you don't have to do this. If you want extra P's, then fair enough, but you actually don't. Like, you're one of the few people in the sport that can have dignity, so please have dignity. But that's also,
for me, I think
we've spoken on this longer than we need to. Is let him get his cash grab. Let's keep it moving. But the real potential story is, let me say this because we have to log out soon.
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley. I do not care if you've got the same trainer. There is a cash cow in your stable in AJ. Call him out by name and get yourself a stadium fight to get. If AJ's leaving the game, if I'm Wardley, I'm calling him out. This is the last bit of juice you can squeeze out of this orange, out of this cash cow. Get that fight. Get that fight.
So this is where I'm going to go with that one, right? Because I knew you were going to go with it. If I'm not wrong, based on what I heard from Turkey, he said AJ in December, whatever, didn't mention that Jake Paul particular fight or whatever. But come February, we're going to have a big Riyadh season card. AJ's planned to apparently be in Saudi for that. We then have an April card in the UK and a September card. For everything, it looks like it's September Fury and thingy. They've got to do the negotiation with
fair
Tyson.
then, yeah.
But to your point, if that doesn't happen, guess what? Fabio Wardley, get yourself an April fight. Little tuna one. If you want to, if you don't know. If not, you pencil your date in September.
Absolutely.
For that, you pencil it in and you get that fight.
Absolutely.
And as for Joseph Parker, you stunk it up. I'm sorry. To start off with, all you had to do was wait a little bit longer. And instead you snorted it up.
Nah, I would vomit blood. To know that, all you had to do was to stand. Because remember, we was even saying at the time, you don't even need to take this fight. He was just taking it as a ticking over fight. But my thing is, this was such a dangerous fight. Why would you take that as a tick over fight?
Yeah.
That fight was way too dangerous to be taken over as like, oh yeah, let me just do this to tick over. Then you get clocked for doing cocaine, and they said apparently the way that the testing for cocaine is like, it's not even like that would be in your system on the day.
Yeah.
Because apparently cocaine comes out of your system quick. This is research purposes. I don't blow my nose just in case anyone's watching. But the fact that apparently is like you got coked up on the day, and then you see that same belt you was holding get elevated to world champion status. Oh my! I hope that bag was worth it.
You know what it says to me a little bit though?
What's that?
If you wasn't coked up, Fabio Wardley probably finishes you a lot quicker.
No, I think he has his bearings and holds on to him at that point when he was doing that weird rope-a-dope that he was. That sluggish rope-a-dope that he was doing. You wouldn't have made certain decisions. Who knows? Maybe he wasn't hyped up for the fight and the coke. Like, either way,
it's a crazy story.
You're gonna have to hold that, and especially knowing that you're not promoter's darling is the worst thing, because it's different. If it's just like look at Ryan Garcia, you lost to Rolly and then you're getting Barrios next in the world title fight. Yeah. Parker wasn't a promoter's darling to be getting certain fights anyway, so F it, man, go face Chisora.
Nah, he's on a ban. He's gonna get a ban for 2 years, possibly.
Maybe a year.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, they run it as in from when the findings were found, but you gotta do that B sample for that shit anyway. But listen, we're gonna wrap up, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Jake Paul, because when everybody turned around and said you can't fight the best, he said, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm proud of him for that. Lock
this off.
Yeah. But listen, our Gypsy King as well. He's staying retired.
I hope Canelo faces Jake Paul. That's what I want.
Oh, I'm so ready for that. Like, both men sail off to the sunset with the bag. I'm happy. I'm more. But Canelo, yeah, I can see that happening as well one day. But listen, guys, like, share, subscribe, and peace.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, with your bag it up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag it up. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.